Reaffirming American support, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo calling a move by House lawmakers silly, referring to a bill that they passed preventing President Trump from pulling the United States out of NATO. Secretary Pompeo defending the administration's position last night on Fox News with Martha McCallum. Watch.
This administration has done more good for NATO than the previous several administrations combined. The increased resources available for Secretary General Stoltenberg and for NATO partners around the world are significantly greater, approaching now $100 billion greater than they would have been absent the pressure that President Trump put on.
I'll ask your reaction. And joining us right now is NATO General Secretary Jens Stoltenberg. Good to see you, Secretary General. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Your reaction to Mike Pompeo?
Well, he is right that over the last 4 years, or from 2016 to 2020, at the end of next year, European allies and Canada will add 100 billion more for defense. So the very clear message from President Trump is having an impact. And I welcome that because we need fair burden sharing in NATO. And therefore, those allies who are spending too little have to increase their defense spending. And that's exactly what they have started to do. They still have a long way to go, but it is encouraging to see that they are now moving in the right direction. And at the summit, the NATO summit in July, when Trump was in Brussels, meeting all the other heads of state and government, we made decisions to provide plans for how to increase, and now we see the results, 100 billion more by the end of next year.
Are the countries, are the members now up to the 2% target, or they've got way long to go to get to the 2%?
It varies. Some allies have reached the 2% target. We have more allies now reaching that guideline than we have had in many, many years. But some allies still have a way to go. We have a planning horizon to 2024, and the majority of NATO allies have pledged to be there at 2%. But I think what really matters is the money on the table, and what we see now is that 100 billion more over 4 years from 2016 to 2020, that helps. If you expand that time period to 2024, which is our planning period, then it's $350 billion. So this helps. This is significant, and of course it is also necessary because we need fair burden sharing in the alliance. This alliance is about protecting each other. It's good for Europe, but it's also good for the United States. For the United States to have 28 friends and allies which stand together with them, it's something China doesn't have, Russia doesn't have it, and the only time we invoked Article 5 was after the 9/11 attack on the United States, and hundreds of thousands of European soldiers, Canadian soldiers have served shoulder to shoulder with the U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan.
The President Trump has also said that he suggested maybe they should go to 4%. Would you like to see the members go even higher than 2%, perhaps closer to 4% of their GDP on defense spending?
I focus now on the goal of reaching the guidelines we have agreed, and I focus now on making sure that happens. And the good news is that they have really started to step up. We have turned a corner, and 100 billion over 4 years makes a difference, and 350 billion US dollars by 2024 is also a big difference.
Well, the president in the United States has also criticized Germany for paying Russia. And in that tweet, when he was complaining about the 2% target, he said, "What good is NATO if Germany is paying Russia billions of dollars for gas and energy? Why are there only 5 out of 29 countries that have met their commitment? The U.S. is paying for Europe's protection, then loses billions on trade." First, your reaction to Europe paying Russia because of that Russian energy. I mean, does that not make Europe so much more vulnerable to Russian aggression?
NATO is an alliance of 29 allies from both sides of the Atlantic, with different political parties in government, different history, different culture, and some are neighbors of Russia, some are not. So there are differences, there are disagreements, also, for instance, on energy issues. But the strength of NATO is that despite those differences, for instance, on this pipeline from Russia, we have always been able to unite in NATO around our core task, and that is that we protect and defend each other, one for all and all for one. again, this is good for Europe, but it's also good for the United States. I know that the United States, you are now very focused on the size of China, and China is big economically, technologically, but also increasingly when it comes to military capacities. But if you add Europe then to the United States, NATO, then we are close to 1 billion people. We are 50% of the world's economic might and 50% of the world's military might. So compared, if you compare China with the whole of NATO, then actually we are big. So NATO is good also for the United States.
Yeah, I mean, you make a very good point. But, I mean, the issue on Germany and Russia, you're going to be meeting with the Russians tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, so should Germany rethink the dependence on Russia and look for other sources of energy from a NATO ally like the United States?
So we welcome that NATO allies try to diversify their sources of energy supplies. Tomorrow we will meet Russia to discuss another very important issue.
Let's hear it.
And that is the INF Treaty. And this is a treaty which banned the whole category of weapons, intermediate range weapons. Russia, and this treaty has been in place since 1987. Russia has now started to violate this treaty to deploy new nuclear-capable missiles, mobile missiles, hard to detect, very short warning time, meaning that they reduce the threshold for any potential use of nuclear weapons. So this is very serious. It's breaking down one of the most important arms control agreements we have, and therefore we will meet Russia tomorrow and call on them once again to come back into compliance with this treaty, because it's not good for none of us that we have a new arms race, and especially not when it comes to nuclear-capable missiles.
And if they don't, I mean, where is the accountability?
First of all, we call
Who will hold Russia accountable?
The treaty has specific mechanisms for verification, for inspection. The problem is that Russia is not living up to those compliances or those recommendations. So therefore, the United States has stated that if Russia does not come back into compliance, the United States will, in the beginning of February, start the process of withdrawing from the treaty. We have asked our military commanders to look into the consequences and how we should respond. This is a very serious issue, so we will respond in a measured way, in a defensive way, but we have to make sure that NATO maintains credible deterrence and defense also in the world without the INF Treaty, where Russia is deploying these new missiles.
A moment ago, you said that you were happy with the Trump administration pushing back in terms of the commitment to the 2% target, in terms of the pressure that the president has been voicing. Do you believe that all members are still committed to Article 5, this commitment to come to a member's aid should they need it?
Yes, and that's because
if they're attacked?
Yeah, because this has served us also well for 70 years. No NATO ally has been attacked with military means since the alliance was established. And the whole idea that we stand together, an attack on one ally, trigger the response from the whole alliance is regarded as an attack on all allies, one for all for one. The main purpose of that is to prevent the war, because if as long as all adversaries know that all allies will respond if one ally is attacked, then no one is attacking us. That's the main purpose, to prevent conflict, to prevent attack.